My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ,
Komen kepada jengal try Jisun Chris.
once a preacher said there are two parts in a gospel.
Don way no yalap ubaong pa don arteli kilenti ha ki gospel.
The first part is believing, and the second part is behaving.
Ka bentak benikong kolong ban ngej bat ke baar kolong ba nginle.
So, when the strong faith is coupled with good acts, it brings about great miracles in life.
Haba ka jingngeit ke bas kem kala yait ringkat bat ki kam te ki kam phalaru kinjia.
This is what we see in today's gospel passage, where we have the centurion, the story of the centurion, who coupled his faith with good acts in life.
Bat kane gede ke ba ngeu ha jing kuliah gospel mata ka singi ba tu orang ba sispa uba dap ke jingngeit bat ngkat ba ta ke jingngeit jungu ladon da ki kam ki ba ba ulale.
A centurion is a military commander in charge of 100 soldiers.
Bat une orang ba sipai udai uba pej ya ki si spa ngot ki sipai hapo jungu.
So today, as we reflect on this gospel passage, we shall get to know some of the good qualities of this centurion mentioned in the gospel.
Bat kat ba ngi puson ya kane ke jing pulen gospel mata ka singi ngin sa shem ngin salap katok ane ki jing long babha jong une orang ba sipai.
He was merciful.
Ulong uba don jing isnei.
Now we see in the gospel, as Jesus entered Capernaum, the centurion meets Jesus on the way and then requests him to come and heal his servant who is lying paralyzed at home.
Dekat bau Jisu dong rung ha Kapernaum une orang ba sispa lai kendu yu Jisu badwa kerpat ya ba un let ban kot yau syakri jong u.
He did not come for his wife. He did not come for his children. He did not come for his relatives or anyone in his family. Here he is here for seeking healing for his servant at home.
Siam lalai show Jisu ban pan jingkot nya nakapanta ka tengah jong u ne ki khun jong u ne ki bayang asem jong u henre hang ne udon upan jingarap no Jisu ban wan pen kot ya syakri jong u.
Remember, it was a time when servants were treated almost like an animal.
Bakane hakal kum kene kapor ba lajia kumne kadai kapor hakaba ya ki syakri la nyau ya ki tang kum kimrat.
And he being a commander, a centurion, there was no need for him to take care of his servant at all, because his servant was someone not so much important to him.
But mau dialade ulong orang ba sipai de syakri ulong uta ubam da don kam uba om da don kam ban nyau kor ya u.
He could have just sent him away by giving him some amount of money, ask him to take care of himself.
But ulak ban pa no ya une u syakri da ka ba ai tang katokane ka tingka ka pisaya u.
But we find centurion being different. He takes care of his servant and then gives money and all other things required to take care of this man individually.
And Ray hangi siam hangni ya ke jinglong ka ba compare ya ne orang ba sispa walau sumar su carry u to ai ke jing don kam ki jong u ka pisah tingka bu don kam pad ba un sumar ya u.
So the question that we need to ask ourselves today is, how merciful are we towards our workers, towards people who depend on us, towards people who are under us? Who do we take care of them fairly?
Ke jingkili nakapenta jongi akan dikesingi kolong hato ngi sumar ngi pej bahan ya kitu kiba tray hapo jongi.
And see the response of Jesus to him. Jesus says, I will come and heal him.
Pej hangni ke jing jubab jong Jisu wong ngan lej ban pen kot ya u.
He exhibited such a faith, he exhibited such a mercy towards his fellow servant, that Jesus chose to go and visit his home and heal his servant.
Ke walaupun pau adu kata ke jingngeit jong u bat nakapenta ba un le nakapenta u tau syakri jong u bat u Jisu la jubab ba un le seyeng jong u.
So this attitude of mercy is what Jesus looks for in each of us, so that Jesus can come and visit us, can come and visit our homes.
Bakane ka jingle kam isnei ya kiwei kede kata kakam ka ba ujisu un saong ba unwan ban chungo ya ki yeng kisam ki chongi.
Yet again we see another quality of his, that is his humility.
Sakwai par ka jinglong chong ne urang ba sipai ka long ka jing sngorit.
He could have very well commanded Jesus, Jesus, please come and heal. He could have ordered or commanded at Jesus, because he was a centurion and a commander.
But hang ne kan ka jinglong chong un urang ba sipai un jindala hukum wat ujisuru ba un wan sa yeng jong u ban pen kwat ya un usakri jong u nomar ba ude urang ba sipai u ba ai hukum.
So he rather kneels down in front of Jesus, as we see in the pictures. He kneels down in front of Jesus and then requests him, Lord, I am not worthy to have you under my roof. Say a word and my servant will be healed.
Repade ngisem ba kumbang iya kiduru ba une orang ba sispa u penrit ilade u dem khosiu ha po ha khamat jong Jisu bat kata ka jing kerpat bat ka bau ong artat ko trai ngamlong wa bidor ba menrung ha po ka yeng ke jonga.
He acknowledges his unworthiness before Jesus. He says that he is a sinner and that he is not worthy to have him in his home.
De u pla ilade ba umlong u ba bidor marba ulang unong pop but don hok ban priang ya Jisu apo yeng jong u.
This is the attitude that we all of us must have if we want to be visited by Jesus. In humility, acknowledge our sinfulness before Jesus, acknowledge our unworthiness before Jesus, and invite him to come into our lives, into our own homes as well.
Te kene ka juk ka jinglong ka ba ngidei bandon rangi kwa ban khot lane ba Jisu unwan ha ka jingim ka jungi ha ka yeng ka sem jungi bandon ka jing sngorit ban ong ha khamat jungu ba ngadei tang nong po.
And the third quality that we find in him is his faith, very strong faith.
Nang ta sa ka balai ka ba ngi i u ka long ka jingngeit ka pas khem.
He says, it is enough to say a word and my servant will be healed.
Ulong labiang ba pensu ong tang dekaktin bat u sakri jonga on sakoi.
So he believes that Jesus' words have power to heal his servant.
De unget ba kaktin jong Jisu kedon kabor ban penkot ya u.
He believes that Jesus has the power even over distance. There is no need for Jesus to come home, even from far enough to say a word, his servant will be healed.
De unget ba walada jangai ru henrei kata kaktin jong Jisu kedon kabor bat kalabiang ban penkot ya u.
He says, I am also a person with authority. I tell my servant, do that, he does it. I tell another, go, he goes. I tell another, come, and he comes. And just in the same way, you are someone with the power and authority. Just say a word, my servant will be healed.
De ula ong hau Jisu ba ngaro nga long ubreu ubadan kabor bat nga ai hukum ong ya way wan lene ki ula le kumta bat ya way pat ale bat ula wan bat Jisu bat une rong ba sisparo wong ba meru medan ka kaktin badan bor bat kumta ada mekren tang kaktin jongme de uta usakri jongaru un sakoi.
So great was the faith that he exhibited. It is said, Jesus marveled at his faith.
Bat ka ta ke jingngeit chung ka long ka bakhraw bat la tho ba Jisu ula lengo ya kata ke jing kraw jingngeit chung u.
So there are only two persons in the whole of Gospels. Jesus appreciates the great faith of two people. One is the centurion and the other is that Syrophoenician woman.
But don tang arti ki breu ha ki gospel iba la bu jing tho ba ki long ki bakhraw ke jingngeit chung ki ka we de une urang ba sispa sa ka we pat katu ka kentei.
Faith can move mountains in the lives of each one of us.
Ka jingngeit kala ban penki wat ia ki lumpa ha ka jingim ke chongi.
At times our prayers are not answered. At times things do not happen the way we expect because our faith is rather shaky.
Teng ka jing duai chongi kamyo jubab ka de namar ba ka jingngeit chongi kamlong ka pas khem.
Once in a certain place there was a serious drought. There was no rain for a long time, and then people were all suffering from the scarcity of water.
Para we ka por hawe ka jaka ka don Keba om don slap bat de kata kejaka kemudian kelak terkong
So the parish priest of the place invited people for prayer for rain.
Te u parish priest yang kata kejaka ulo khot lo wer ki briu ban wan ban ya duai lang da kabanta uslap.
So he waited outside the church for people to come for prayer.
Te ulo ap habar jong kajing bane da kabanta ki briu bakin wan ban duai.
And as they came, he said, there is no prayer today.
Bat kat ba kita ya wan kini ki briu ki long om don jing duai mata kesngi.
You can go back home because you came for praying for the rain, but you came without umbrellas.
Bat u laong pi lawan ban duai na kabanta uslap. Henry pim siam lawan ra syatri.
So this is the kind of faith that we must believe that this is already happening to us, and that is the utmost form of faith which is required for any miracle to happen, any healing to happen in our lives.
Dia kene ke jingngeit ke ba ngi de bandon apa ngi duai ba ngi ngeit ba kata kala jia badak ba kumta in sajia apa ngi duai ha ke jing em ke jongi.
So in each Holy Eucharist, when we approach this altar, this is the kind of faith we must have. The Lord is capable of doing miracles in my life. This is with such a faith, when I come to the altar, the Lord can begin to work in us.
Dia ke ba ngi wan berbor sya ka Eucharis bukui kene ke jingngeit ke ba ngi de bandon ba bang wan su Jisu udon ka bor ban penkot ban le kam phala ha ke jing im.
So let us practice the mercy of this centurion. Let's practice the faith of this centurion. Let's also practice the humility of this centurion in our Christian life, in our faith life.
Then makata to ngin im kumba long une u rang ba sispa bandon ke jingngeit bandon ka jing isnei bandon ka jing basngewrit.